Hello, Johnny Chiodini.
Hello, Christopher Bratt. How are you?
I'm good. We're back with Overwatch. We haven't actually done a lot with Overwatch on the channel as of late.
We haven't,
There's a good reason to take another look at it. As you can see here, Overwatch Retribution is arriving actually the day this video goes live.
Oh, great. Look at Moira's new hat.
She's got a hat. This is Moira when she was part of Blackwatch.
Blackwatch.
So yeah, as you'll see in the Retribution mission, we played Uprising.
Right. Yes.
Like this time last year,
Yeah,
I
I loved
guess.
it.
And that was a look at sort of early days of Overwatch. This is the sort of iconic Blackwatch mission that basically soured the relationship between Reaper, or Reyes as he was then, and Soldier 76.
Ooh.
So yeah, a pretty important point in the old game, and we'll shut up and let you find out about that, I should think.
An Overwatch facility was attacked. The team needed to respond, but officially, their hands were tied. Luckily, Blackwatch plays by its own rules. We all knew who was responsible. Rumor had it he'd be well protected. Our mission was to drop in and get him out so he could face the music. At least, that's how it was supposed to go.
Good evening, Commander Reyes. How will this look on the news? Overwatch unlawfully abducting a respected businessman? Even if you take me now, my friends would have me released within the week. All these theatrics have been a waste of our time.
You're right.
Reyes, what did you do? This was not the plan!
Well, looks like we're going with Plan B.
Reyes, you naughty boy.
Oh, bloody hell. That was a bit much.
So yeah, as you can see, that is sort of the beginning or the end of Reyes and the beginning of Reaper.
Yeah.
So I think Reyes goes through one of the most complex arcs within the world of Overwatch. He starts off in the soldier program that Soldier 76 was part of. Right. I think he's like Soldier 24. I mean, I've got the number wrong.
Lame.
Yeah, something. He's one of the soldiers, and sort of he becomes a really prominent part of Overwatch. Gets sort of jaded towards that. Joins Blackwatch. Then this mission happens.
Classic Hammer.
And he gets
Genji main.
kicked out. Hammer. This is the thing about this playthrough, by the way.
You're playing with like Unit Lost and people.
I'm playing with like all three of these channels are like big Overwatch channels that like they live and breathe this game. And then here's your boy.
Oh come on, you're okay. You're a good Overwatch player.
But like there's good, and then there's you care about this game so much that you made a channel about it that you talk about it every day.
Fair enough.
So yes, Retribution is essentially a better version of what we saw with Uprising.
Right.
For a number of different reasons. And in fact, those two missions are part of something called Overwatch Archives. That's what they're referring to this part of the game as now, which is basically a look back into like important moments within the history of Overwatch. And just like with Uprising, it is available from today, the 10th of April, to the 30th of April.
Oh, so it is a timed event. It's gone.
Yeah. Uprising is available for that period as well, for people who didn't play that last time.
Oh, lovely.
And it was sort of a bit bittersweet to find that out, if I'm honest, because I think people were hoping for maybe something slightly more substantial than that.
Yes.
From like, is there going to be like room for a PvE mode with like progression and things like that?
That's what I was hoping for. I sort of heard rumours and dared to dream, but even so, this still looks really interesting. It's
Yeah, and I like it. It's really well done. Something that I appreciate that they've done this time. If you remember with Uprising, that took place on the King's Row map.
Yes, it did.
Was there from launch. This is a brand new map that they're also going to release slightly later on as a multiplayer map. It's called Rialto. It's in Venice, Italy. In fact, the only difference is this starting bit, I think, isn't in the multiplayer map, I was told, and the end bit isn't in it. Everything else is, and the multiplayer map is a daytime version of it.
You really fucked that teleport then.
Yeah. Oh god. Oh no. I was trying to like overload you with details there so that you wouldn't notice.
Nah, it didn't get past me. That is very cool though. That they're effectively making this more of an event by letting this be the debut of a new map.
Yes, and
I think it's very nice.
I think actually, as one of the big reasons for that, I like these moments as well.
Yeah.
It's quite a dynamic thing. I think they have to do that to justify it because, from what I've heard, this mode and this map took the best part of a year to create.
Wow.
Which is the big counter to the argument that Overwatch should have a PvE mode. Sure, it could, but it requires so much time and resources.
Yeah, and the game is already moving at a pace some people find to be too slow anyway.
Yeah, on the PvP front.
Yes, yeah. So, all right, well, fair enough.
And we'll have an interview going up, I think, the same day as this video with Jeff Kaplan, where we sort of get into that and talk realistically about what a PvE mode would look like. Here's something new that they've done. In Uprising, the boss in that was a sort of reskin version of Arita.
Yes.
There are 4 bosses in this map that they can appear at different times.
Oh, cool.
And they're bespoke for Retribution. They were created just for the PvE mode. So like this sniper, for example, there's a lot of tries to stay out of like direct combat. There's a lot of grappling hooks to different locations, and you see like the laser sight. That's how you know that you're being
sort of a little bit Widowmaker, but
yeah, exactly.
Got it. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and it isn't always going to be the sniper that turns up at that point during the PvE thing.
Because I mean, like obviously the comparison with the bosses that just sort of turn up as big moments like that is Dr. Junkenstein's Revenge. But that's so predictable that when I was playing it last Halloween, I spent all my time trying to be emoting in the background whenever one of them showed up.
Nice. Yeah. And like it depends. It really depends on what kind of difficulty you're playing with this. I don't think I'm not sure how much I tried Legendary with Uprising, but it was supposed to be extremely difficult. Not that many players actually managed to complete it on Legendary, and it's the same thing here. Like if you can play it, this is on hard. I don't want to brag or anything.
No, that's cool.
I was carried by a bunch of Overwatch YouTubers, but like Legendary is genuinely a real challenge, and so yeah, probably less room for emoting in the background.
Yeah,
when that's going on.
Fair enough.
And I am sort of still psyched to see moments like this in the Overwatch story. Like the Blackwatch thing is something we've been hearing about, like from the very start. And actually sort of getting a better look at why Reaper became Reaper is cool.
Yeah, it's nice to get that sort of coloration to it, because you get all the voice lines and stuff when people are on the same team, and you're like, oh, okay, it's a little bit of a hint, but it's one thing to try and piece all that together and read the comics. It's quite another to have it presented in something that you then get to play.
Yeah, they were saying actually that they have done a few comics with. I know, I was very happy with that. They've done a few comics with key lore moments so far, and they know that not everyone. The animated shorts are much more popular than the comics ever are, and the missions are even more popular. Like they understand that if they really want to show a massive moment and want everyone to see it, they need to do it like this.
Absolutely, that's the way it needs to happen.
Yeah, you don't want to get pinned by this guy. Yeah, so they've taken like abilities from heroes, but they work slightly different and feel unique to this mode.
It's like Reinhardt, rip the arms off 2 Arisas.
Yeah, exactly. I was told
he can absolutely piss off.
I was told that we shouldn't be looking at these characters as like potential hero ideas.
Sure.
It's more like they just thought it was a cool PvE moment.
Yeah, I think people would get that. Like in Uprising, you had the sort of dog things, and
yeah. And the one to really watch out for this, we didn't really see it with the assassin but if you get trapped on your own by the assassin, she pins you down and like keeps hitting you till you die unless someone knocks her off you. There's
like
a custom
hunter in
animation.
Left 4 Dead, or
exactly like that. Yeah,
runner in Vermintide.
Yeah.
Damn it!
You had to bring up Vermintide, didn't you? Every video, Johnny Pudding.
I was about to joke that I get money every time I do, but that's just not the kind of joke you make as a game journalist. I'm not on their payroll. I just like Vermintide.
Another little drop down there.
It's nice, yeah.
And yeah, it's kind of. I really enjoyed playing this, but I do feel the same way I did about Uprising, which is I can see why it's a limited time event, like once a year for 3 weeks. Because the moment you say this is like going to be in the game forever now, the expectations for what this should do and how many times you'd want to play it change, I think.
That's very true. And you know what? As much as I said I would love a fully fledged PvE mode, like knowing that isn't really feasible because of the amount of work it takes to make one of these, I would much rather they were only available for a certain amount of time a year. Because like I say, Junkenstein, when it came back for the second time last year, I was all over it because I liked it a lot, and it was satisfying.
It's interesting, isn't it, how that time constraint makes it feel like does actually give it the feeling of an event.
Yeah. And I guess because it's also supported by having different loot boxes and stuff like that. So
there are a bunch of new skins coming with this. The most important one being Hanzo wearing a waistcoat, which everyone's losing their mind over.
Oh my god!
I don't know what the sort of lore reason for that is. He wasn't in Blackwatch or anything like that. I think they just wanted Hanzo in a waistcoat.
Maybe he missed the initiation, or like he missed being invited to join Blackwatch because he'd gone out to buy a natty waistcoat.
I love the waistcoat. Yeah.
Look at my waistcoat. Oh,
exactly.
Not in Blackwatch.
Yeah, it's cool. I think it is worth, if you are interested in like the long-term plans for Overwatch, it's worth taking a look at that interview that we had. Basically, what they said is, if they're ever going to work on a PvE mode, it may as well be its own game. That's how much work it is.
Wow.
They don't. It's not. The implementation isn't as straightforward as perhaps we expect.
Interesting. I wonder if they'd ever go for that, or whether it would just be like XCOM the Bureau. Sorry to mention the cursed game in your presence.
It's difficult to know, isn't it? Like they definitely have, like Overwatch from the very start, they've planned it to be a franchise rather than just a game.
Yeah.
What form that will take, it's hard to know.
I mean, my mind's kind of just whirring now. Like, what if they, decided they were going to do it and then they made it like almost like Destiny or something with that kind of progression? That would be bizarre.
They are talking about lots of different ideas. I saw a quote come out of the trip that I was on where someone asked them how they felt about Battle Royale, which their answer was, yeah, it's really good. Probably wouldn't work for Overwatch though. But like clearly, like they don't have to limit it to any particular genre. I don't think with the characters and the stories that they've put forward so far. But that being said, it's weird. I feel almost bad for like using this to talk about where Overwatch goes next, because like as far as I can tell, the PvP scene is still doing pretty well.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the league is bigger than certainly I expected it to be. And there's still, a core of players that are following this game like avidly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's just maybe lost a bit of the sort of mainstream state it had at one point, but that's what happens.
Exactly, it's to be expected. In the same way that there are still a bunch of people playing like old Call of Duties, even though there are newer ones out. Like it's just because there's not the same buzz as there was 6 months after release doesn't mean there isn't a core of players.
And Blizzard are really good at maintaining a sort of core, like all their games tend to build towards having a core following that sticks around.
Oh,
you see it with Hearthstone, you saw it with StarCraft.
Got eliminated by Heavy Assault there.
Yeah, and this wasn't on the highest difficulty either, was it?
It's alright, more resulting.
Can one of the YouTubers please thank you
right.
your Overwatch.
Your owl. Got you. Your owl and your owl gamer. How do you do, fellow kids?
I was just excited because I was reaping, I was doing loads of damage, and then it turns out I'm actually quite squishy if I just stand next to the Heavy Assault. Who knew?
Awkward.
This bit is the finale of the mission where you're waiting for the dropship to come in, and
I see.
I think we did okay here because we cleared the area well before it arrived, but it can get a little hairy when you're trying to like get everyone into the dropship whilst surrounded by enemies.
Yeah. Sounds like interesting. Well, that is funky.
Yeah, that's Overwatch Retribution. It will be around if you've got Overwatch. It's there now for the next like 20 days.
I think I'm going to dip back in. I've lapsed massively playing Overwatch, but I want to get back in. Maybe this is my ticket back in. I'm trying to be a nicer person. It's hard bias. Oh no, take easy. Hammer.
It didn't seem right. But that wasn't the end of our problems. For the first time, people knew we were out there. New faces stepped up to fill the void in Talon. And I can't help but wonder, if that's where it all started to go wrong.
Really, the worst thing about what happened with Blackwatch and sort of the demise of Reyes is how sad it made McCree. That was the real tragedy of this.
Yeah.
Also, 133 eliminations. Yes, did I take the most damage? Sure, I did. But you know what? I'm a risk taker. I was role playing Reaper.
Look, and you're admitting to it there in the text in the corner. You can't say fairer than that, can you?
You absolutely can.
Yeah.
All right. Yes, that's Overwatch Retribution. Part of the archives thing. As I said, we'll put the interview up at some point soon. So if it's not already, there might be a link here later on.
There'll be something here. They can click on something.
Yeah, and listen to sort of. A fairly decent chat with the Overwatch game director about what it would take for this game to have real sort of dedicated PvE. All right, thanks very much.
Bye.
See you next time. Bye.